And talking about politics, political turmoil in the UK this week, you've got the former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. He's resigned as an MP after receiving a letter from a House of Commons committee. They were investigating whether he lied to British lawmakers over those lockdown parties. Remember them during COVID. Joining me now is commentator Esther Kraku. Nice to catch up with you again, Esther. So Boris has pulled the pins, decided he's going to walk away. It seemed like he wasn't all that keen on being lectured to by this committee.
Well, yes, he called the committee a kangaroo court and said he'd basically been forced out of Parliament over Partygate, which is the parties that were held over lockdown in 10 Downing Street. Now, it's very clear that Boris is actually quite unhappy about the way that he's had to leave. The committee did find him guilty of misleading Parliament, and he really has no allies left in the Commons. I don't think people understand how rare it is for a Prime Minister to be leaving with effectively the disdain of his entire party and the opposition, obviously. Two of his close colleagues have also resigned, so it's triggering 3 actual by-elections, which the Tories are likely to lose, given the kind of mood in the country at the moment. But it's really quite astonishing to see how Boris has resigned so sensationally. He's clearly not very happy about it.
Esther, it's an incredible fall from grace when you consider when he was, at the peak of his powers. He was instrumental around the world. He was one of the first people to go into Ukraine. I mean, globally, people were thinking he wasn't doing too bad a job. It's extraordinary that something like having a drinks party in Parliament can bring you down, but we've got to realise that was during the dark days of COVID, and everyone else was being told to stay home, and he just simply thought the rules didn't apply to him.
Absolutely, and he really has been the architect of his own demise in this case. He had it all. He had a massive majority in Parliament, the biggest one we've seen since Margaret Thatcher. He had widespread national support, and he really squandered that quite spectacularly. The reality is his own personal failings is what led to his downfall. He was not a leader. He was always on the fringes of the party, and he was always the entertaining character. And many people that spoke up against his premiership have been vindicated, like the likes of Michael Gove, who said from the very beginning, you don't want this man to be leader. And he unfortunately has been proven right.